The next thing we want to do is create a plane. Shrink it down a little bit. And what this is going to be is our muzzle flash. And the muzzle flash is just going to go right in front of the pistol. Now I already have a pre-made asset. It's basically just a 400 by 300 texture with an alpha channel on it. And the alpha channel will make the texture see-through once it's applied to this plane. So in order to do that, we need to create a material. And in the material we can define the transparency. I'm just going to apply the spark to the muzzle flash. And you can see it's see-through. Now this is a sphere, so it has a lot of stretching, but we're just going to apply it to a single plane. And there we go, we got our muzzle flash. I'm going to scale it up a little bit. Now in order to instantiate it in prefab in code, we need to make it a prefab. So we're just going to call it muzzle flash prefab. Drag and drop. Now we have to create a JavaScript. I use an editing program called Unity Develop. It's basically just a hacked version of Flash Develop. But what's good about it is you get all of the drop down menus. I'll show you. You can see all the types that we get when we're defining a variable. I highly recommend getting this. Okay, so what we want to do is just create a variable, and we'll call it muzzle flash. And this needs to be a game object type. And in the update function, we're going to look for an input. So if input dot get button down fire 1, which is predefined here in the project settings input fire 1, it's the same thing as left control and the first mouse button. So if the first mouse button is pressed, then instantiate muzzle flash at this dot transform dot position and this dot transform dot rotation. Now you don't really need to write this. What this basically is, it's the game object that we're applying this script to. So the game object dot transform dot position is the same thing as this. So it's going to instantiate this game object at this position at this rotation. And then semicolon to finish it off. Now back in Unity we have to define this game object. So first we're just going to apply it to our launch position. Now let's see what that looks like. Looks like it's upside down right now. And it still has the colliders on it. So just delete the mesh collider in the prefab. And after we instantiate, we have to rotate it on the x-axis 90 degrees. So to do that we have to create a variable when we instantiate. So var instantiated flash equals instantiate this instantiation. That way we have access to the instantiated object in code. And actually it's a good idea to keep all your variables in camel case, which is lowercase and the second word is uppercased. So instantiated object instantiated flash dot transform dot rotation, or actually transform rotate. Now this is x, y, and z, which is a vector 3. We need to rotate it 90 degrees on the x-axis. See what that looks like. Looks like it's the wrong way, because on a plane it only has one normal, which is forward. So we just negative 90 to flip it 180 degrees. And there we go. Now what we want to do is we want to destroy our muzzle flash after 0.05 seconds or something. So you just use the destroy API. So destroy instantiated flash. And now if we click on fire 1, nothing will happen, because when it's instantiating it, it's also destroying it in the same frame. So what we want to do is destroy it 0.043 seconds after it's instantiated. Now we got a flash.